Has been. I just didn't know it.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. I have a criticism
Okay.
of a specific rhetorical technique that you used against erudite and against glink. Um, and I think it's kind of adjacent to statements.
Okay.
So I have an example. You were talking to erudite about dual relationships, and she was saying that basically, um, well, some dual relationships are good and some are bad, so therefore it's nuanced. And you were trying to say that, well, some specific cases are not nuanced. And what you said is, you basically said, tell me one situation that violates this specific ethics rule more blatantly than the Dr. K situation did after 5 sessions of therapy. Um, and I
Can I
think,
can
yeah,
I explain what I was talking about so people understand?
sure.
Okay. So the ethics rule is, therapy relationships need to be delineated from non-therapy relationships. So if someone's a psychiatrist, they either have to be your doctor or they have to not be your doctor. Now, in the course of a normal doctor-patient relationship, of course, you're going to say things like, "How was your vacation?" Blah blah blah. These are normal. They're not doctor conversations, but it's okay. Like every time you say that, yeah, you're drifting a little away from the doctor role, but that's normal. That's to be expected. If you have an extended conversation that has nothing to do with the patient's treatment, then you start drifting further and further. And then if you actually just become friends with them, then you're like right in the middle. And then same thing with being friends. If a friend says, "Oh God, I have this pain here. Look at this lump," and then you say, "Oh, I think you should get that checked out." Technically, you just gave them medical advice, but like that's totally normal to do that. Or if they say, "Oh, I'm blah blah," and you say, "You might be depressed. Maybe you should, go see your therapist." That's probably totally normal. But then if you're having an extended conversation with them and you're saying, well, what was your childhood like? Then you're drifting closer to the middle. The worst place to be is the exact middle of total ambiguity, where somebody literally does not know if you're their doctor or if they're your friend. So 5 sessions in, Dr. K, this online psychiatrist streamer, for those of you who don't know who he is, was seeing a streamer named Reckful. They did 5 sessions together. They're clearly therapy sessions. And Reckful ended up taking his own life a few months later. But on the 5th session, Dr. K says, "Do I want to be your doctor or do I want to be your friend?" So the question I posed to Erudite was, if you're saying this is nuanced, what situation could be more blatant than this? If they literally still don't know if they're friends or doctor patient, and they've been talking for like 10 hours now over the course of months. That was the question I asked. So the rhetorical technique, continue your critique.
Okay. Uh, and by the way, but I agree with you on that.
Okay.
But I think the rhetorical technique is pretty ineffective because I think it just confused erudite, and she ended up saying like, well, if you had sex with your patient, that would be worse. She didn't understand. She was still stuck on,
What
well,
would
the
be more
category
unethical?
is nuanced. What's that again?
She was stuck on what would be more unethical, not what would break this rule more.
Yeah. Uh, and so she was just confused by it, and
Yeah.
I think also you're kind of, if the reason I was saying that it's similar to a statement is because you're kind of by asking this question, you're kind of um, trying to get the other person to convince themselves that you're right. You're asking a question that you think you can't possibly answer, and you're
So you
trying to
think I
get them to
should?
like realize.
You're saying I should have just said, instead of asking a question where you can't, that's not answerable because it's definitionally the worst possible thing you could do. You're saying I should just say there is no situation that would be more unethical in terms of establishing or not establishing a doctor-patient relationship than literally the person having no idea if you're their doctor or not.
Yes, but I think
Like if I
more.
if I just made that as a statement instead of saying try to come up with a thing that is definitionally impossible to come up with.
Yeah, I think that's a little better. Specifically though, with
A
erudite, I think.
little.
Well, no, okay, that is better. But with erudite, I think the disagreement was a little different from that. I think she was still stuck on if the category is nuanced, then everything is nuanced. So even
Oh,
if you said this is the
she literally
least,
couldn't understand what I was saying.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
think what I think you should have said is just I agree that the category is nuanced, but some cases within the category are not nuanced, and I would say is a positive statement rather than trying to ask a question to get her to convince herself that you're right. So that's my question.
Right. It's what's confusing is that ambiguity in the relationship is the thing that makes it less nuanced.
Hmm.
So the more ambiguity there is in the relationship, the less ambiguity the case has, because ambiguity is the problem.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't think she understood that. And I think you're right that I should have said something to explain that rather than asking an impossible to answer question in the form of like a riddle.
All right. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. I
Okay.
have another topic.
Yeah.
Um, what are your
Clink.
thoughts? Oh, well, I don't know.
I
I
just did
don't
that.
know
You're
if we
saying
have
I
to
just did
go.
that. I did the same thing with
Yeah,
Clink.
you did
Okay.
the
You're
same
just
thing when you
saying
were at. Yeah.
what? What? When I asked what?
Uh, I was just. Do you want to hear the example of when you did it with Clink, or not? It's not really worth it.
You're a fun person to interrupt.
Why?
You're very reactive.
Really?
Yeah, you'll start talking, and I'm like, blah, 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 and you're like, hmm,
Hmm.
well, and then I start doing it. It's just, it's enjoyable to interrupt you. But
Hmm.
yeah, go ahead. What do you, if you want to give the example with Clink or not, whatever you want to talk about. I'm not going to interrupt you. What do you want to talk about?
All right. Well, I'll just give the example with Clink real quick. Um. I think. Yeah. You said like. Okay. Um. You said like, tell me why thoughts can be immoral without referring to religion or spirituality or mushrooms or a bunch of other stuff.
There's no way to answer that question.
Yeah. And then you got stuck on that for like a long time. It's pretty frustrating.
Hours.
Yeah.
Tell me how thoughts can be immoral. Yeah, I was ranting it like a crazy person.
Hmm. All right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
okay, I think we're in agreement on that. Um, okay, so the second topic. What are your thoughts on on gift giving? Because it seems similar to compliments, where uh, you're doing it for the other person, but also to gratify yourself. Uh, and yeah,
What do I think about gift giving?
yeah,
Uh, I don't think I have strong feelings about gift giving.
really.
Yeah. Um, yeah.
Hmm. Do you want to hear why I thought you would be against it?
You think that I think that something that is ostensibly for me can act as a hook that someone else is putting in me for themselves or for some other reason that they're doing it, and that I would find that unpleasant.
Yeah, and that's not true.
I like getting gifts. Makes it a little
Okay,
more complicated.
really. All right.
Oh yeah, when Shaylin comes home and she's like, I got you a donut. I will drop everything I'm doing and I will scamper across the floor like a little fucking dog
Hmm.
and snarf that donut down before I even know what's happening to me. I got one hand pulling my mouth open, the other hand stuffing it in. Yeah.
Hmm. So if you liked getting compliments enough, you would be able to ignore the gray areas there.
Certainly suggests that, doesn't it?
Hmm. Okay. Interesting. I don't know. I think it's weird because I think it's got all the gift giving has all of the negative things that you said about compliments, but even more so, right? Because
Yes.
it's also you evaluating someone, but now you're putting an actual dollar number on it, right? Like, I love you enough to buy this
Yeah.
super expensive engagement ring. That seems even
I
more
don't like
fucked up.
giving gifts.
Uh huh.
I don't like buying things for people. You know what? I think if I buy something for Shaylin, it's usually something I want her to have.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty explicit about that. I don't think I think I like that kind of gift. Like if Shaylin's like, I bought you a donut because it'll be fun to watch you eat it, you little fucking animal. That I think that feels more honest. I think that feels safer. But if she's like, oh, I know you really needed this thing. She's like, oh, I thought this would be nice. I thought you would like this. That would probably make my skin crawl. But she doesn't really do that. So I think we're when we give each other stuff, it's more explicit what's actually happening.
So then,
And I
is
don't
there
feel
a way?
objectified. There's an objectification with compliments. It's an evaluation. So I think it's just not as doesn't feel as toxic to me.
Okay. So you don't think there's a? Is there a way to maybe ask to give a compliment in the same way where you're like, "This is for me. I know this is for me, and we both know it."
Yeah, that part's true, but I don't feel like a gift is an evaluation of me as a person.
Hmm.
It's not a statement about me.
It is though, isn't it? I mean, if
Not
someone
the
gives you a
same way.
gift,
But a compliment is literally an evaluative statement.
mm-hmm.
I don't think a gift is that. I get what you're saying. You can interpret one from it, but it isn't in itself an evaluation.
Okay.
Unless it's like a medal. If Shaylin bought me a medal, I would be pretty pissed off.
Mm. Oh, I feel pretty guilty when I get gifts. If I like it, I feel guilty, and if I don't like it, I feel especially guilty. Uh, because then, this person uh, tried to do something for you that, they thought they were expressing how much they know you. And
I've
turns out
gotten
they
to a
don't.
place with Shaylin where she can give me a gift and I can be like, I don't like this. I don't want
Mm.
this.
I should probably get to that place too.
Yeah. I have a story to tell you. I think
Okay.
I've told this story before, but this is a important moment in my life. When I was 14, maybe 13. I think I was 13. Christmas, 1998. I asked for Die Hard and Psycho on VHS. And my mother was hosting Christmas. And none of the boxes under the tree were VHS shaped. So I was already pretty fucking upset. We open our presents, and I open this kit for constructing your own foam clock. It has like metal clock innards, and you attach them to black and yellow styrofoam, or not styrofoam, you just foam like pieces to like put the hands on and blah blah, and you like assemble a clock. And I was like, up until then I'd been like, oh thanks, oh, and at that I just broke. I was like, why did you get me this? Why would you think I would want this? I wanted Die Hard and Psycho, and you got me a foam clock assembly kit. I don't like clocks. I don't care about clocks. Why would you get me this? I already have a clock. And she was like, well, I thought you'd think it. I was like, I've never done anything like this in my life. Like, you don't know me. It just feels like you don't know me. It feels like you just don't I just like don't understand. I just felt so horrified. And I was like, I can't hide this anymore. Like, I feel like you're a stranger, or then like you hate me. It feels like you reject everything about me down to my core. You get this fucking present for the person that you wish, this like boring little fuck that you wish I was. That's not me. And I took that good little boy that she wanted me to be, and I took him out back and I stabbed him to death in the yard. And now I'm me. Now I can watch Die Hard and Psycho as much as I want.
Thank
And
you
she
for that
started
story.
sobbing. She was crying. which was like, why the fuck are you crying? You're the one who gave me a shitty clock. And then she said, literally, you ruined Christmas. I'm not the one who bought a bunch of passive aggressive shit nobody wants. I didn't ruin Christmas. You ruined Christmas. Then she instituted a new rule and said next year, each person is buying each other person one present, including you. You now have to buy me a Christmas present. Every member of the family buys every other member of the family a present for $20 or less, and everybody has to say what they want. So to spare my mother the horrible indignity and searing criticism of being like, why the fuck would you get me a shitty clock kit when I fucking told you I wanted Psycho and Die Hard? Now nobody gets any presents because Max ruined Christmas. I like how it's funny how I started this being like, oh, gift giving isn't fraught for me. Everything's fine. Well, I don't see why you would think this would be an issue for me. 5 minutes later, childhood trauma pouring out of my ears. But I think that kind of inoculated me to some of what you're talking about, where like I think that day I just realized if somebody expresses their hatred and rejection of you through their shitty present they're giving you, I'm at the point where I'm like, why? What happened to being grateful though? Got to have perspective. Some people get nothing. A foam clock kit is worse than nothing. I would literally I would rather she had just been like, I don't approve of the person you're turning into or your interests, so I didn't get you anything. I would prefer it. I would just prefer a card that says that than a clock. I never built the clock. It literally was worse than nothing. I just threw it out eventually. There have been times in my life where my mother has sent me a gift and I have opened it into a trash can. That's how much I hate getting presents from my mother, who I haven't spoken to in 11 years or more, 12 years. Maybe I'd still be speaking to her if she hadn't gotten me that clock. So next time you're getting somebody a gift, think about that.
I had the exact opposite experience, but it was still bad.
What was it?
My parents got me a thing that I like. I can definitely understand why they thought I'd like it, but I didn't. They got me like this like weird skateboard thing for the Wii, and I hated it. But I felt bad that they had like tried to guess my interests, and they were close. They were trying. But I didn't like it, and I felt bad for not liking it. And so I started crying. So they were like, the thing that hurt was that they were trying their hardest, and I felt bad for not liking it.
You felt guilty that they didn't understand you?
Well, I feel like they did understand me, but I don't know, they were just a little off, and it felt like I should like this.
Wait, how are they off?
Well, I mean, I think it was just a shitty product. Like, it didn't seem fun to go on this little Wii, but they thought like, oh, he likes, skateboarding, radical, extreme sports. He watches the X Games. He's gonna love this. I just happened to not like it. But they were, it was pretty reasonable for them to think I would. It was a thoughtful gift, and so I felt bad that I didn't like it.
I think you're letting them off the hook here a little easy.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, that's all my thoughts. Yeah.
All right. Well, I feel like it was a pretty fruitful conversation.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Well, goodbye.
Goodbye.